using Methodist password. So Duane, are you gonna get to what purposes it could serve at the marathon?
Well, you know, we're not. It could serve very well at the marathon.
Or,
Provide, well, just like we're thinking about doing for this year. We're gonna, and I didn't bring my radio. We're gonna use the Verotech N76 radios for APRS trackers.
okay,
Okay.
You're back, by the way.
What?
You're back.
Oh, okay. Can we do tracking on these? Yes and no.
okay, sorry I asked. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
Only because if I don't, you're gonna ask me afterwards anyways.
No.
Yes, they have GPSs, but not all of them do.
Uh-huh.
So those that have GPSs, you can track them, but it's not gonna be as easy as if you were gonna use APRS.
Okay, so tracking's the main application we're thinking of for anything like APRS, whatever,
Yes,
at the marathon.
yes.
Data-wise, I'm
Yes.
gonna call it data-wise.
Because Mark Klein wants to be able to use the GIS mapping to send messages to the trackers.
Okay.
So, yes, it's gonna be much easier for us to do that than it is to this stuff.
So on the map that I'm looking at, the only ones I would be able to see are the ones that have GPS in them.
No, because this one's running Klein. Which one are you seeing again? You're seeing this guy.
Yeah, I'm seeing the one that's called
Solar.
WizBlock Solar.
Okay. So this one is set up as a client also. So he's gonna pass traffic from any other node he hears,
Okay.
but it's not gonna go out to the internet. I'm gonna guess and say that somebody is hearing me locally and has picked one of them up and will put it out on the internet.
I'm also seeing WizBlock 2
Okay,
under your call sign,
okay.
The tinker?
but it's right in the middle of Tinker, according to the map.
That's one of these. Well, and that's another thing. With these devices, with a GPS in it, you don't have to give the precise location of where you're at. Most people don't. So, you can be ambiguous. You can be, with the configuration on Meshtastic, you can go anywhere from, I think it's like 129 feet all the way out to like 4,000 feet.
That's
So-
how many enemies you have.
Well, exactly. And, you know, unless you're just a glutton, why would you want anybody to know precisely where you're living? So, you won't find mine precisely where I'm located. And I got a lot of them.
Right. In terms of acquiring that equipment, what is, Amazon or?
We're gonna get to that here shortly.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, real quick, here's some resources. Meshtastic.org, very good place. Oklahoma has a Meshtastic Facebook group. You just do a look for Oklahoma Meshtastic. You'll find that group. Tulsa has a very good website. And then, of course, YouTube, the comms channel, they have a very good YouTube videos on Meshtastic. Hardware. A lot of different hardware platforms. The Heltec V3 and the Liligo ESP32 devices. RAC, which stands for, I forget now. But these are RAC 4361s, which are very capable radios. They're in here, and in here. me go over this real quick, because this is pretty slow. The radio is underneath this battery. It's the cell phone. It's a 3G cell phone. So it's not worth a crap for talking on a cell phone. 3G, how much 3G is out there?
3G's gone.
So-
It's dead.
But it's an Android phone. Why is that cool? Because now I can run the Android phone and run APRS Droid at the same time using the Meshtastic radio. And this is pretty cool. Now this is one of the more expensive devices. This is like $130. But it does give you a capability that none of the rest of them have, and that's that Android phone, so you can run an Android app on it.
So how much is the gray solar one? I can't remember what.
This one,
Yeah.
about $85.
What's the one that's about like
Stinger.
lunch?
Which one?
The Stinger, I can see it blinking at me.
Here. This is called a Station G2. This is probably the most powerful Meshtastic device out there. It doesn't have enough room in the case to put the GPS in there, because the GPS just fits on the side. All the other ones don't have that. There's GPS built into them, but so right now that's the way that one has to work. And it's from B&Q Consulting, and they sell them with a company called Unit Engineering. Raspberry Pis, those of you that are familiar with Raspberry Pi, you can buy an RP Romeo Papa 2040, which is a hat that fits on top of the Raspberry Pi that has a LoRa radio in it. You have peripherals and sensors, solar power and gain antennas, and then we mentioned this is from a company called Spec 5. They don't build their own radios, but they use off-the-shelf radios from Heltec and LilyGo to put in their own 3D printed cases. So, MeshSense. If you were, I don't know, MeshSense is a N3FJP thing